So apparently this album is called a do-it-yourself, a DIY album. Made in 6 weeks during quarantine. So in the spirit of maybe what that ambiance was like, I am wearing this shirt that technically is a PJ shirt. I mean, I don't know how weird it is to be able to say that people who are approaching an older age of adulthood have PJs still. It's usually Christmas presents. I have a grandma who loves me, okay? Don't judge me. How I'm Feeling Now is the 4th studio album released by Charli XCX. Charli is not an artist that has captivated my attention much. I heard that her album that was released last year was pretty good, although I did not get to it, so I may have to change that. With this album, the first time I listened to it, I actually thought there were some decent amount of elements that were put into kind of the latter portion of the album. And then upon re-listen and just trying to dissect this album a little bit more specifically and particularly, I feel like it is just slightly above adequate, I suppose. But there's a conflict in my brain that's trying to say, like, you know, how much of this is actually much better because of what was done just at her place? You gotta pull it off. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. You can't just say like, oh, well, this is the excuse because it was done this way. Now, I know I may be making an unfair comparison, but remember that album that was really good last year, that won Album of the Year by another artist that was pretty darn young? Yeah, Billie Eilish also did not exactly have a studio precisely, like many of the artists did when she made that album, and it was very impressive. So, just throwing that part out there, just saying. I will be honest in saying that I was more impressed with the album than I thought I would have been. But in the end, I don't think this is an album that's going to hold up the test of time. We can make the excuse for the quarantine situation. I get that. But regardless, this is going to be viewed from the lens of, is this craft of art up to what we would like it to be? And I don't feel that it does, for the most part. I'll mention 2 songs that I liked, okay? I'll give you this. The first being I Finally Understand. And the second, C2O, or C2.O. Carbon dioxide, not sure. The intro for that song is okay, but it picks up along the way, and yeah, I think that there's a good beat going in there. I actually think there's multiple songs in here that have decent beats, but not all the elements included in the production make it have the great listening longevity that they should have. It just feels like a lot of them have like an aimless purpose to them. I think her fan base has enjoyed this album quite a bit, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't really have a goal set out to trash this album. I'm just saying I personally was not impressed with it, despite the fact that I am indeed taking into account the conditions that this album's recording and writing process underwent in order for it to be presented to the rest of us. I guess I'm not in that fan base of hers. I'm not anti, I'm just kind of just like, you know, I've just never really cared. I have heard singles, I have heard other songs that have been made during this time with maybe a little bit more access to some production or electronics or machinery of whatever kind you can identify to be used to be able to bring us some music during this time. And so some are going to have advantages, some are going to have disadvantages, but it all really does depend on what you are going to choose as an artist, what you are going to release into the world. That is your choice. Do you think it is up to par to what your audience is going to like, or do you think it is going to withstand the amount of criticism it may or may not deserve? That is free game. I don't know if I really actually got to say all that much because I didn't feel like there was, like I said, as much depth as I anticipated, although I think you can listen to it if you are just kind of there. I think this is an inoffensive album, but that does not have enough meat to it if you are actually trying to give it an honest and, to an extent, critical listen. So, after having listened and reviewed this album, with production of 64%, creativity 64%, expression and lyrics 71%, I'm going to give this album an okay. I don't need to keep going on. I don't need to have any reason to bash this album. I'm just saying, yeah, no, not for me. I probably will go and listen to that album from last year because I did hear from other people that it was good. But again, it's like, I don't know if I'm her audience. Maybe yes, maybe no. Just got to give more intent listens. And I tried to with this album, but it doesn't land for me. Plain and simple. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff down below so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.